told you how
is it dirty?
it's got schmutz all over it. Yes, because I told you how that bike blew a tire, right? So I took Alex's to the gym, and he's like, it's something that I've noticed that he does. Like he was like, oh, just so you know, like the chain just like pops on and off. So he has to put it back on, bro. So he and it's like not a big deal, but it was like on the way home, like it like did that. It made that little clicky sound. So I was like, oh my God, dude. Like I'm like, don't even like I'm on like the freeway. So I tried like, you know what I mean? Like finagling it a little bit.
Yeah.
Nothing. I touched my shirt. I have like just schmutz all over it. I'm walking up the highway and this car pulls over in my lane. And I like they probably saw me mouth like Jesus Christ. And this lady was so sweet. She hops out of her window. She's like, do you need water? Babe, get the water. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm fine. It's just a busted chain. Thanks, folks.
Isn't that amazing though? How like
Yeah. Like in that scenario, I didn't even think if this was like a scent perp or anybody. Like this was clearly a concerned individual. Like work out whatever and it's hot. I was a little kid.
this is actually a great topic of discussion. I think this is a great way to start this. Okay, so clearly for fucking ever, you have experienced a lot of just fucked up people doing fucked up things, working with other fucked up people, whatever. Can you tell me about a time where like God intervened and actually sent somebody that was good and solid, or you come across somebody that was actually genuine? Do you have any experiences like that? I'm thinking, okay, so like in my experience, I've had so many fucked up things done to me where I'm supposed to be stuck, stranded, no escape, no way out, in a trap, but then it's like somebody shows up. God sends somebody comes through, dude. At the end of the day, somebody always came through for me when I was in like a predicament that I probably wasn't supposed to have help inside of. Did you ever have experiences like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, there's been a number of times where you've helped us and I like you didn't know what was actually like going on. You know what I mean? Like behind the scenes. And it really felt like spoke to you to like send something or even say something. You know what I mean? There's been times where you text us and like in the moment of me like doubting myself or just like, you know what I mean? Could be the midst of like a spiritual attack, like designed to make me be like, I hate myself. But it's like, for real, it's like those moments where, you know, anybody could say anything and you'll just text something. And it's like, me and Alex are like, dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it was like I've had that experience like before I left Connecticut, like angels all over the place, like before when I didn't know that I was being targeted at the time, but I was going through a lot, like getting my license back, my car back, and it was I had just gone to Verizon because it was like I literally was going there because I knew my phone was hacked, and I hit this old man's car in the parking lot, and I was like, oh my God, like, sir, I'm so sorry. And he like didn't give a fuck at all. And I was like, it was just like I've had moments like that where people in a they could have any reaction in the world.
It could have gone a lot worse, and then they
Yeah,
were
dude.
actually chill.
And they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. They're like, I don't want this trouble. And I'm like, thank you so much. Just thank you for being you. And I hope that in the future, if you ever need somebody like you run into yourself in this scenario because that was great. But I've also literally done the exact same thing. Like
Right.
somewhere hit and run on the highway. I literally thought about that guy and somebody hit my car and I literally was like, don't even worry about it. And they were like, what? And I told them like the little bit, like low key being hunted by the government, framed as a pedophile, all these things. And she was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, dude, what the fuck is this scrape? You know, who cares? Get out of here.
Yeah.
But what about for you? Like a in-person moment.
Dude, so in 2017, if you look my name up, Taylor Lynch, Burley, Idaho, you will, it's the first, whoops, it's the first thing that pops up is my mugshot. Okay. So to make a really long story short, we were leaving Idaho, traveling back to Montana, me and my fucking devil of an ex-boyfriend. But anyways, we were on the freeway. He's on parole. He's wanted, a wanted felon for absconding his parole. Long story short, we got pulled over. And he got arrested. They arrested me too. And I was 2.5 hours away from my hometown. So this happened in Idaho Falls, Idaho. I know nobody, dude. Nobody in town. My mom bonds me out of jail at 2 a.m. I have not a penny on me. I have no jacket. It's cold and no phone. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have nothing, dude. And
Yeah.
I'm like getting out of jail at 2 a.m. in this town I've never been in before. But this lady, I was walking to the jail the next morning. I went and stayed at like this crisis center place, and they were just really good to me. I walked right up to it and they
Yeah.
housed me, and I was not too good for it, dude, because what else
Yeah,
was I gonna
no.
do, and I was coming down hardcore off drugs. I didn't sleep for like 5 days, and it's the longest I've ever stayed up. So I was just a fucking wreck at this time. But anyway, this lady sees me walking to the jail from that crisis center the next day and was like, "Do you need a ride?" And I looked at her and I'm like, please, and she's like, where are we going? I'm like, I'm going to the jail. This is what happened. And she took me to the jail, waited for me to get like the money he had on his books out and the phone, and then she took me to the impound lot to get the fucking car. Like this random stranger, she taxied me around freaking town, and I was able to get home. She was a heaven sent angel, dude. You're frozen. Oh my God, we are having so many technical difficulties with this damn live. I'm gonna wait for her to come back. I'm sorry, you guys. I couldn't get the live started. I had to try like 3 fucking times to even get the live started. What the fucking break junk. I don't even know what to talk about in the meantime. So yeah, if you want to look it up, if you want to look up that incident, just type in my name, Taylor Lynch, Burley, Idaho. And that is the first thing that will pop up is my mugshot. And like all the news articles about the whole arrest. I'm pretty sure that that was a setup. I'm pretty sure that that was a cop that was scouting for us. He pulled us over for not using the blinker long enough before changing lanes. That cop knew what he was doing the second that he found us. Like he was on the other side of the freeway, on the other side going the other way. And he got us for not using our blinker long enough before changing lanes, but he was over there. How in the fuck was he counting how long our blinker was on when he was over there? Hi.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my God, dude. So the phone overheated. I can't believe I was able to just attach
You know
right
what's
back on.
crazy? I had
What?
Patricia on here the other day, and her phone was overheating.
Interesting.
Interesting, huh?
Very interesting. I wanted to hear more of this story though.
Where did it cut off?
You were you had just gotten in after your mom bailed you out with the bonds. You just went into a
The crisis center.
thank you.
That's all you heard?
Literally, that's it.
Shit. Okay, so anyways, I woke up from the crisis center and was walking to the jail to get the phone. He had the phone. I thought he had the phone. It ended up being in the car, but I went there to get the phone from him, right? Out of his belongings and shit. So I'm walking, it's a long walk. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know my way there. And this chick offered me a ride, dude. And so she took me up to the jail and then she waited for me and took me to get my car out of impound. Just
Oh
some
wow.
random fucking stranger, dude. And I don't know
That
what I would have done without her. I have no idea. She just rolled down her window and was like, "Hey, do you need a ride? You look like you need help." And just
wow.
did me a solid. And I was just telling YouTube that, like, I feel like that whole arrest was a setup. So we got pulled over for not using our blinker long enough before changing lanes. The cop was on the other side of the freeway going the other way. So, like, you know, he's going south, we're going north type of thing. He's going west, we're going east. So, how he was looking from the other side of the freeway and saw we didn't use our blinker for a whole 5 seconds before changing lanes is absurd. So, he, of course, flipped through the median and come up and pulled us over for not using the blinker long enough before changing lanes. That cop, he was either paid off. I don't know, dude. And this was before I had any idea about the targeting or any of that crazy ass shit that I was going to go through just a few years later. But
Yeah.
my mother-in-law was doing some shady ass shit to us leading up to that point too. She called the cops on us when we were leaving town for a welfare check on my children. So like she was
Uh,
trying to get us fucked. Like
yeah.
anyway, so I don't know. They were looking for us, I feel like. And yeah, I ended up getting home on 50 bucks. I couldn't eat. I didn't have money to eat. And I barely had enough gas to get back to where I was going.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There were so
That's
many bad things that happened to me. Like, I got stranded once. So I was living in Montana with my mom for like 9 months.
yeah.
This is the only time I was there. And I came back to Idaho to get that boyfriend I was with out of jail. And, when I was coming back to Idaho, I fell asleep driving, which was fucking crazy and almost wrecked. How in the fuck that happened, I have no idea, dude. So that was fucking scary. I took a wrong turn off an exit and drove a whole bunch of miles in the wrong direction and didn't even notice. Like, it was crazy, just like the dark shit that was happening to me. I got him out of jail and we were driving to his mom's house, 2.5 hours away, and the steering wheel got off fucking crazy.
Oh,
My Jeep broke down. I was stranded in Idaho for 2 fucking weeks. I had to go to the fucking hospital. I had like strep throat, a urinary tract infection, all kinds of fucking shit was wrong with me. I was so sick. I thought I was going to fucking die, dude. So,
that's
like,
the
they'd been attacking me with witchcraft and shit for the longest time.
yeah.
The longest time. And they had fun playing with me when they could control me and shit, right? So I think it just
Yeah.
like had to elevate into what it did because everything they tried to do to me up until that point didn't work. You know what
Right.
I mean? There were so many times I was supposed to die or end up fucking locked up or that I was protected from every freaking time. It always failed.
Dude. And do you ever recall people that would call you like it gave you the vibe that they were like the checkup person. So you knew that like fuck shit had been done and there was somebody that had just either they called you randomly. It's basically the if you're still alive call. But like do you recall feeling any like weird like it's like an instant download because of how like awkward they're just sounding to you, like, just calling you for no reason?
I don't think that they needed that because I was so open with my kid's dad. It's 4:20 on the clock, and that's the day I got arrested on the freeway. That's so crazy.
Oh,
Anyways,
wow.
though, I told him everything. So I'm telling him like I'm super, super sick. This is happening. This is, I was always so open with him that they got their information. Just
True.
and I was fucked
Yeah,
up back then, dude. I was so just lost back in those days. Now I could
yeah.
tell in a fucking heartbeat. So, yeah. And then after I broke up with that guy, um, where am I going with this? That's when the whole incident happened where I got stranded in Boise.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
pretty sure that I was taken up there to be fucking killed off. So that was like 6 months later, 8 months later, after that whole charade happened and I got thrown in jail and all that crazy shit happened. And then I got stranded in Boise in 2018. And there was some really good people there that came through for me. Just
Yeah.
random, random.
It's crazy because it's like, sorry, I'm maneuvering like a little ice pack behind the phone. It's crazy because, like, you can tell when somebody, you can see, like, they're like that person that said, like, "Hey, do you want a ride?" Like, it's just wild for her to, like, genuinely just feel like, "Hey, I need to give that person a ride." And that's, like, little examples of, like, how God really speaks through people.
Yeah. I also, the first time, Ashley, I ever got arrested, the first time I ever got arrested, I was like 21, maybe. I don't know. It was in 2013. So I've never been in legal trouble before. I didn't understand that I had an arraignment and all of that. I had no idea. When I got out of jail, they told me I had to be arraigned on December 23rd. I needed to go
Okay.
to court for arraignment. They gave me paperwork. So, anyways, I got arrested December 13th, but they were going to arraign me the 23rd. Long story short, I couldn't find a ride. They got me arrested. They impounded my car. The
Yeah.
grandparents of my children did all of this to me. Yes, I was not in a good place. I was strung the fuck out, hanging out with all the wrong people, all the things. But they fucked me as hard as they could fuck me, made sure I lost every fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, um, I walked. I didn't want to go back to jail. It's the dead of winter in Idaho, snow up to my fucking knees, 7 in the morning. And I
Uh,
stayed up all night so I didn't oversleep. I couldn't find a person that would help me with a ride. Nobody would answer their phone. Nobody. Nobody would
yeah.
help me. So I had to walk. I was almost there, and this lady in a minivan stopped. I had like a mile to go, straight shot. And she's like, "Do you need a ride?" I'm soaked. I'm frozen. And she gave me a ride the rest of the way to the courthouse. I walked in
Wow.
just for them to tell me that I didn't have court. And I had to walk 7 miles home just to
That
almost make it home. And somebody stopped a kid I went to high school with. I can't remember. It was Jordan, Andrew, and his girl, Kendall. They stopped and they're like, "Taylor, do you need a ride?" And they gave me a ride like the last 2 miles I had to walk home.
that's the most fucked up shit I've ever heard, dude, that you
Fucking
didn't
brutal.
even.
And it's like that was my whole life, dude, all the time.
Yes, like, things like, it's like you get there. That because the same fucking thing happened to me, dude, when I didn't have my license and I had to my dad had to give me a ride to Maine because I had moved back from Connecticut or to Connecticut. So my dad had to give me a ride, stayed at my friend's house. She gave me a ride. Bro, come to find out, mind you, I was living with my sister, so all my mail was going there, right? I'm like, literally, we're about to leave. And my friend called the courthouse for something. And we found out that I didn't have court that day. And then I called my sister and she was like, "Dude, that's so weird because, like, that piece of mail just came today." So them telling me that court was canceled a month and however long prior, the piece of mail just got there today. And I was just like, "What?" And then my friend, since we were already like dressed up, I literally just went with her so she could go cheat on her boyfriend. And I was like, "What?" And it was actually in that moment, now that I'm saying this, it was in that this day in particular was the first time I really noticed somebody else using me. This is totally flipping into something else, but
Okay.
I noticed somebody using me as like the butt of the joke to make themselves look better in front of a dude. So it was kind of like one of those moments where I'm like, oh, like this person isn't really your friend. You know what I
How
mean? If
Yeah, but how did she do that? How did she use you in that sense?
like I can't remember, it was something like blatantly like making fun of me to this dude that I don't even know. So it's like, dude, like you're bringing me along as a third wheel to cheat on your boyfriend. And then it was like some joke that she like just didn't have to make that was like about me because we went to court and we didn't know that it was canceled. She was just running with that to like run into him. So she's making fun of me for not, it was something like that. And it's
I
like,
got you.
yeah, like it was just like, what?
She had to step on you so she felt a little bit better about the grimy shit she was doing.
Yeah. And it's just
My
crazy
face is
how
so hot right now,
I know mine was too. I'm like literally sweating.
and your phone just overheated.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's something true. I have the ice pack on right now.
That's so crazy. My face is hot. I haven't had this happen to me for a while.
Yeah, dude, it's like something through, you know what I mean? At the risk of sounding kooky, I just don't, there's frequencies that come through the phone, bro.
It's a
And
trip.
they're able to like, I don't even know how, but they're able to kick it up for people that are on this list. You know what I mean? Like, they say you shouldn't have your phone, like all the radiation and stuff, like you really shouldn't have your phone on your bed, even next to your head at night. Like, I'm telling you, dude, there's something's not right.
I feel
But
it.
but
And
that's
it's a
what I'm
trip how Patricia's phone was overheating when I had her on here as well.
well, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like they're literally
Confirmation the
fucking with it.
microwave's beeping.
Yeah.
Ah! Sorry, I'm like getting so distracted, dude.
No, I mean, it's yeah. Because did you notice when we were first on here, there was like 16 people in here.
Hmm.
So, and it doesn't matter like who, you know what I mean? It'll catch on. It doesn't matter to me how many people watch it, but it's sounds like that could definitely be a preventative thing to stop production,
Yeah, could very well be. We just got to keep going, dude.
right?
We just got to keep going, keep showing up. It'll work itself out. Um, there was something. That piece of mail, do you feel like that was a part of you being targeted but not even realizing it yet?
100 fucking percent, dude. People, because when you're targeted, it's like they love to make your life harder than it has to be. They obviously that entails them running you around in unnecessary circles,
Hmm.
me stressing out, trying to find a ride, getting my dad to drive me up. My dad, and I was still sharing my dog with my ex-husband. So my dad was like, I just remember he was pissed that like my dog had to be in the car. And like I didn't tell him that we were doing that exchange because my ex's barbershop was like on the way into town. So I remember my dad's like, what the fuck is this, dude? I'm like, she's coming with us. My daughter, I have to drop her off. So like I don't know. I just feel like it's that piece of mail was totally just kept, you
I
know?
feel like I was given that paper with that court date on it for the same purpose.
Yeah.
They took my car from me. They knew I wouldn't be able to. They probably told everybody to not answer their phones for me,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
people yeah,
Intentionally to make me fucking go through like all of that. I wasn't supposed to survive that incident either. I
right.
mean, dude, I was 19, 20, 21. I think I was 21 by that point. No, I was 20 because I was out of that apartment when I turned 21 and I broke my leg when I fucking wrecked my van off a bridge and almost died.
Oh my
So,
god.
anyways, but yeah, I feel like that was all set up and designed as well. And I mean, I'm stuck in this apartment. I have no money. I have
Yep.
no support. My car got taken. Um, My friends, which were dealers, turned on me out of nowhere. They just turned on me. Everybody shut me out. I'm detoxing. I'm withdrawing off drugs for the first time in my life. I'm sick as shit. I lost my daughter. I didn't have my son at this point yet.
Oh,
And I'm alone going through this all by myself. Fucking
yeah,
having to walk 7 miles into town and 7 miles back in the dead of fucking winter. Just fucked, dude.
yeah,
Fucked. And it was like a cycle of hell like that. They just kept putting me through the same cycle. And it's
yeah,
mind blowing because it's like, I overcame that. You motherfuckers really thought that I wasn't going to be able to overcome the next and the next and the next and the next. Everything you guys have done to me, I've made it through. Every piece.
yeah. And it's like annoying, but probably what's the word? I almost said refreshing, but like, you know what I mean? Like to see it's obviously annoying that like we keep jumping through the hoops, but there's got to be a point where they're impressed. If you really think about all the people that they've gotten with no effort. You know what I'm saying? With no effort, just all these simple tactics to just torture somebody.
Dude, I just pieced together a synchronicity.
What?
Okay, so the time I had to walk to court in the snow, and I just told you that like my best friend, aka dealer, turned on
Right.
me. It was that same girl that took me to Boise when they were supposed to off me. It was the same girl that like completely turned on me when I was going through that whole court shit and had to walk and just turned on me. And then we ended up reconnecting years later, and she's the one that took me up to Boise when they were supposed to take me out of there up there.
Wow.
Tell me that wasn't a paid setup.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it sounds kooky to people that aren't privy to all two people that are in here. But this
I
is
don't think
what
it
they
sounds kooky at all, dude.
no, I don't. I'm just saying like this it's just so crazy that they'll do that. Somebody and again, that's somebody that you knew years prior.
Yeah,
And to me right now it's like pinging people who are comparable to that person in your life, like who's literally just a paid op the whole time. And then, and when they do have people that are like paid ops and that are like a little kooky, it's like sometimes people are so kooky, they'll wonder why they're not being hunted like this. You know what I mean? Like it's like people will be bro, it's like people will literally be jealous of how badly you're being like hated on and targeted because they're just watching you surpass it all. So they're like, what the fuck? You
right.
know? So to that person, like that's
That's why they got to
totally
gaslight you and tell you you're crazy and you're not going through anything because they're just a bitter Betty.
yeah, well, and they're not only earning compensation, but they're a part of it. Their hands are completely covered.
100%. I really believe that. Like, look, anybody that would not at least even hear me out, it's like you're in on it. You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
Like, how can you not? My life didn't just fall apart over fucking night because I have mental illness.
right.
I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at. I did. I worked so fucking hard. So fucking hard to get where I was at. Then all of a sudden I'm just crazy and everything's falling apart.
Exactly.
No, I think fucking not. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
And it's just crazy
Um,
how they love saying that, but it's also like everybody's just immediately, okay, that's the story. Taylor's crazy. You know what I mean? Or for whatever they want to say. Like for me, Ashley, she's a fucking dumbass skits. She's a drug addict. She's a whore. She's a
I got
whore.
all that
She's a
too.
schizophrenic. And it's like people are all just like, "Oh wow." I think I just screenshot it. Oh my god, this is so. There we go.
They tried to frame you as a pervert or whatever, or the masturbator or whatever you call it.
A
They
yeah,
tried really hard to frame me like I was a bad mom, like I was abusive and neglectful to my children and shit. And they would do shit like come jam me up on the roads every morning, 20, 30 cars in front of me driving 10, 15 miles an hour. both sides,
Yeah.
so I couldn't pass to make me late to take my kids to school every day.
Yeah.
Just slow me down. And then they'd
Bro,
all
that's
drive through the school drop off, and nobody was dropping off kids. And it's like, nobody notices this?
yeah. That doesn't
This
even make me
doesn't look
fucking
really crazy right now? To my face.
bro.
So hot.
It's
And I have
crazy
like a
how
bleach taste in my mouth right now. Like bleach.
do you? Should we can get off if you want.
No, I'm okay. It's just weird.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. No.
No. It is crazy though, because that's the shit, dude. When it comes to organized stalking, organized harassment, this is the shit that people have all day for, bro. It's not just the retired geriatrics, okay? Which again, they're all over you at the gym. They're like fruit flies. They obviously want like extra compensation. We get that fixed income. But it's honestly, dude, there's so many more people in society who are on deck like that. So it's like kind of fucking me up to think that like this is like government assistance is given to be a terrorist in somebody else's life. Like
Yeah.
to make sure how many people were literally on the road instructed to make sure that you were late, and it's all to make you look like a piece of shit.
Yep.
I actually been really wanting to watch the Truman Show. I've never
I
seen
just
that
watched
movie.
it 2 days ago.
Shut the fuck up. I keep seeing clips of it online, and I'm like, I told Alex, I'm like, I feel like we need to find a way to watch this
I'll
because
send you the money and rent it. It's on Apple TV.
TV
I'll
shit,
send you
dude.
over some money so you guys can rent it.
Oh my god.
It's really good.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
and the part it was tripping me out when they're literally watching him in his house, and that dude is when I literally there was one point where I was abusing my Vyvanse prescription and I knew that I was being watched on hidden cameras. So I would like maneuver, I would do it so like in this is in my own room, in my
I did
own
that
private
shit
space.
too. So I
And
relate.
bro, and I literally would like open up the Vyvan and I would dump it in my hand. And I would do it in a way to where nobody, like, if you're watching me or surveillancing me, like, you wouldn't be able to, like, notice what I was doing. And then I would go in the bathroom, pretend to get something in the cupboard, and, like, lick my hand. Be like, "Achoo," and, like, lick the Vyvan off my fucking hand.
In your own house, in your own
In my
space. I was the
own
same way. I would always go under the blankets though to do whatever I needed to do in private, dude. I would go under the fucking blankets if I needed to pick my nose or whatever, dude.
yeah. I mean, I would always just fucking yeah, there's so much I could say. But that is
Hi,
crazy.
Jill.
I
We
did
see you. I can actually see the chat today. Can you see it on your end?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
couldn't see it
Hidden
for the
cameras.
longest time. Hi, Jill.
Yeah, the hidden camera thing is crazy because it really fucks with you like and I don't think I've said this part, but dude, like when I left Maine, you know what I mean, and I had gotten arrested, I asked if that was called in, like all these things had happened to where there were setups, right? Could go on for days about that. But what damn, I just lost my okay. So I moved in with my sister, right? And everyone was telling me like I was needed to stop drinking and I was an alcoholic. Mind you, I had a whole bunch of friends that were like, dude, like you're not an alcoholic. Like you could just tell like who drank a lot, who didn't. And like, but for me, like messing with the Vyvanse and like the Adderall, I would always drink a lot to smooth everything out, if that
Can
makes
I ask
sense.
something real quick?
Yeah.
What are Vyvanse? Is it like a
Vyvanse it's almost like a classier Adderall, so for me, I had a prescription of that.
okay? So it's a
So
like
it
a
was
speeder or a stimulant, whatever, an
yeah,
upper
like, I almost said methamphetamine.
ADHD med.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never heard of that before, and I'm like a junk. I'm not speaking that over my life. I come from that lifestyle, so I'm like shocked that I didn't know what it was. Sorry to interrupt you though. Okay, so you moved into your
No.
sister's. Everybody's convincing you you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, and it was like which I didn't mind. I really enjoyed going to AA. I was telling Alex, like, the few times that I did go to AA, dude, it's like nobody's got anything to hide, clearly. Nobody's trying to make it look like they're better than anybody, whatever. Everyone's there to better themselves. And I just never felt I genuinely just enjoyed going to AA. You know what I mean? I would leave AA and I'd be like, I would love a White Claw right now. Like what the fuck? And it's like it was funny to me because I didn't really crave I don't know, like obviously if I want to get fucked up, like I would get fucked up. But for me, it just like I felt like people were like telling like almost spell casting it on me that I was an alcoholic because my mom was an alcoholic.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not saying a bitch doesn't like to party, but it feels like you're all like everyone can back off, like the NF back up slowly, bitches. And it wasn't until when I moved in with my sister that my bedroom was my brother-in-law's office. He kept a bottle of bourbon on his desk. So I was like made a joke out of it. I was like, "Hey, word around town is I'm a big boozer. If you want to go ahead and take your belongings off your desk." And he like laughed about it and it didn't bother me like watching alcohol like you know what I mean? Like I'm not tempted to alcohol like staring at it being like, "I need to have it." So, but that always like stuck out in my brain that I'm like, I feel like I'm being watched. It's not only the feeling of feeling like you're not alone, like you feel like, you know what I mean? Like what, like how you said, like when you pick your nose or whatever, it's like you almost like feel like somebody else saw that. And it's like, why do I feel weird? And for that, it was when my sister and brother-in-law went out of town, like they went to Florida. But keep in mind, at like always the opposite of me, like my sister always really good at saving her money, right? Always, always, always. So when I started to notice my brother-in-law and her spending money before they get married, that's like where it's like putting like for me, I'm putting pieces together like there's some kind of extra income that's coming in. You
Yep.
don't just like during COVID, it was like renting a Airbnb in Florida for like a month, right? I'm like, who is this person? My sister would never ever justify spending a month's worth of her money like that on vacation. Like that's just to me, that's when I knew something was up. And but this time it wasn't the month vacation, it was just like a week, right? And I remember I think my ex had dropped my dog off at the house. So I had a little bit of weed that he brought me, like a little nugget. And I remember that I just texted or I told my sister when she got back, like I was like, I had a sip of that bourbon that was in my room. And it just kind of felt like after I did, like that was like that's what like something that they were just waiting for the whole time. Like, oh, Ashley
Yep.
took a sip of that. It's
They
not
put
only
it
the
in
fact that
there
I was
intentionally just for that. It was
but
all
like to also
intentional.
watch it, yeah. And then
Yep.
noticing certain things like had like a little thingy on the bottom, like there are these things that a motion detector. So like if somebody were to pick it up, it'll notify their phone.
That's
So it was just
creepy.
yeah, like that, like, I don't know. There was a lot of mistakes that I made. Obviously, like that was one of them. Like I did borrow cash from my sister without telling her. But again, it was like the thing that I took it from had one of those things on the bottom. And it just felt like this is gonna sound like because I've already made videos about this, I've already talked about this, but like it just felt like a guided mistake to bring out who other people were as well. I'm not saying I wasn't a piece of shit for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not using this to justify like it's good that I did that. It's like no, like people really did just like watch me. Aside from plotting on me, they just watched me. And
It's
then any
also bait, like trying to bait you into things like that though. It was
and
it was
that's
bait anyways. You just
that
didn't know any
yeah.
better yet.
But I appreciate you saying that because I knew when I was taking I just felt like I was going crazy and I needed to vape. So I was taking like a 20 to go buy a vape. And I was like, why does it like when I went to go put the money back because I eventually like got a job, started working again, all the
Right.
lights were off. Right. I just got home from work. I ran, slam dunked the money in the thing because I knew that my brother-in-law wouldn't have that like in their living room if he didn't already count it type of thing. But yeah, I can't remember why I fucking started saying that, dude. Shit, my bad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it wasn't you. I just blanked of why I said that, but it was basically like, when I was really thinking about it, I'm like, why would I knew that I was going to put the money back and I kept writing notes like, oh, I took 20 bucks on this date, whatever.
At least you had
But
the
they
intention to pay it back, by the way.
yeah, but it was almost like getting the download that, like, they're gonna say that, and I'm glad you said it, like, they're gonna say this about you anyway.
Mhm.
Even if I never did that, they would have told everybody that I was a thief, whatever, so it was like, literally, I, like, heard my papa, who was passed over at this point, and it was like I was just getting signs to, like, either not I don't know, like, I almost wanna say, like, make this mistake, or it was, like, just, like, the ripple effect of everything. You know what I mean? Because I told my sister about it, even though she knew. Because again, the thing had the sensor on the bottom.
Right.
I told her, "Hey, this is what I've been doing. I just wanna let you know," and I put all the money back, but I just wanna let you know, like, I am, like, a fucking loser for doing that. You know what I mean? And, like,
Yep.
then I had a really intense dream about, which I have other receipts on, about my brother-in-law and my ex, and then a couple days later, I was put in the loony bin.
Oh, they
So
put you
basically,
in before? I didn't know that.
yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, I honestly really enjoyed it, but it was just funny that it was after the whole, like, like, thief pointing a finger at that, then
Yep.
I was put in, and I think it really like, spoke to me that I noticed when I got out that people were, like, irritated that I was, like, better coming out of there. Like, I really enjoyed, like, I never had, it was because I always had, like, Vyvanse, so they gave me stuff that was like, I can't remember the name of it, Ativan? I just remember getting, like, some medication, and I never had it before, and I was like, it just makes you feel like a cup of Jello, and you're just doodling, and I'm talking to people who it looks like they're lighting up when I speak to them. I think that was the best experience about the crazy hospital, was being like, surrounded by people who are not only looked past in society, they're looked past every day. And I will admit, the way that they do, like, vocalize certain things or present themselves, like, does make other people, you'd be skeptical, right? But then when I flat out had a conversation with somebody, I was like, I just seeing him light up like a normal person, dude. It was insane. So it
I
kinda,
love
now after
that.
experiencing everything that I have, I always think back to these people. Well, who the fuck is in their life? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, it wasn't their first time in there. It wasn't, whatever. And I remember I made a joke to this one guy because he would walk around all day and he would drink milk. And right before going into the hospital, I had done research that dairy counteracts, like, it's not good for people with ADHD. So I just stopped doing dairy, and I remember talking to my the doctor about that. He had no idea, and I was like, "Oh my god, how funny, like, you're the doctor and I'm teaching you something." And he was probably like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." But I said that to that guy. I was like, "Dude, I only ever see you walking around drinking milk." And I was like, "Who knew that you had all this conversation in you?" I was like, "I'm not gonna lie, I thought you might have been a little crazy." And he was like laughing. Like, you know what I mean? Just, like, genuinely, like, laughing with people, that it was cool. It was honestly, like, I would say, a rewarding experience. And so for me to come out of there and, like, just talk about it that way, I just saw the way, like, certain family members were like, "What the fuck?" You know?
That's so crazy that you mentioned to me about, like, the extra money type of thing. Because I started noticing that with my in-laws. It's like out of fucking nowhere, they're always getting new fucking cars, dude. They're
See?
getting new fucking cars. They're taking trips. They're taking my kids on trips. They're over helping with everything. But when we got our first place together, we were so poor and they didn't have money to help us like that.
Right.
Right? They didn't really help us then because they didn't have the money. Neither one of them have different jobs. Neither one of them have promotions. Neither one of them have moved up in anything. Same jobs, same positions, same shit. And then
Right.
a couple of years into our relationship, 44, 44 on the clock, as I was saying this, it's like all of a sudden they have all this money. They're buying these brand new fucking rides, like a lot. They have like
Yep.
5 vehicles now. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? And I always questioned it. how in the fuck are they doing this? You know?
Right.
And it's like when you're blind and like or not blind, but you're not awake, you don't want to see that in people. It's it's just none of my business. So I never asked. It's none of my business. But I felt the red flag. I felt something was up. You know what I
Dude.
mean? Like how in the fuck?
And that's the
It's
you never think that that's gotta be stuff that you have to pay attention to, but if like, it's something like, if you're genuinely like, "What the fuck?" and something's telling you inside, it's like, that's the thing you gotta just make a mental note about and be like, "Okay, you know what? Something's weird." 'Cause that's crazy that you said that. They never moved up in a position, nothing. Now they're going from this to this. Like, for my sister, I did watch her get promoted, you know what I mean? Like, I was really proud of her, this and that, but it's the fact that I know how she really is with money, and I know that I don't know if you've ever seen Bradley on a Budget on TikTok. I really like him. He does resemble my brother-in-law in some ways to where, like, justifying spending money just on, like, basic necessities is kind of, like, outlandish. Like, it's like, "Whoa, you crazy spender." Like, my brother-in-law would pick up recyclables, like, from the street and, like, bring them home with him type of thing. So it's like you're going from that to now you're going to Florida for a whole month.
right.
Something's up here. Something's
Right.
up. I've got idiot written on my head, that's for sure, but also something's up. So, thank you. That's like
It's like you're the distraction. They scapegoat us as the distraction, right? We make us seem like we're such a problem. We're causing all this shit, all this chaos, thieves, junkies, this, that, so on, that nobody's paying attention to them, to the red flags with them because they use us as the distraction.
yeah. And that just
Be
shows too how long they're like saying shit about you.
Yeah,
Like you might think everything's great. You know what I
I
mean?
sure
You and your
did.
mother-in-law. Like
Sure
everything's
did.
like great to behind the scenes, like to a friend or to whoever. She's like, oh yeah, Taylor, she's
Mhm.
troubled.
Yep. And I didn't see it the whole time. That's why they did everything for the kids, bought their school clothes and gave them lavish Christmases because they were like using that to be like, yeah, Taylor won't buy school clothes for them. Taylor won't this. Taylor won't that. Taylor doesn't do anything for her kids. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they did. It was all manipulation. And it's like, where'd all that money come from? What the fuck are you guys
Exactly.
doing?
Dude, this is the shit that I'm talking like, where is it really coming from though? And like it's how many people that I knew in my life that completely stopped talking to me, dude, literally got a whole new life. And the same thing, like, where did you get money for that? Moved to California, like people, and these are not only people that slept with my ex, but people that jumped to believe the things that like my sister and brother-in-law did. And it's like funny to me how many people were not only earning compensation pretending to be me online, but who were also getting such a high off of pretending to be a woman chatting with a man. I've said it before and I've said it again. Like multiple people, it's like you enjoyed using me as the scapegoat. You enjoyed disguising yourself and cheating on your partner by talking with a man. It's besides the point. But it's also the fact that you enjoyed running to tell everybody, "Oh my god, Ashley's disgusting." Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like I said before, like she's disgusting. She's a whore. She steals. It's like they could just say anything that they want,
Everything they are and everything that they're doing.
and it's like,
Period.
ah,
You got the lustful, like promiscuous ass bitches calling you a whore. You've got the thieves and frauds and cons and money launderers calling you a thief. You know what I'm it's like all
but to
they
them
ever
when
do is just tell people who they are and say it's you.
and that's yeah, that's perfectly said right there. That's what they do. And I think to some people because they've learned how to like steal in a classy way, like oh, because you're a notary or you can, you know what I mean, forge a document and then just like do all this fucked up shit. And it's just like our last video, and then turn around and be like, Yeah, she needs help. We're gonna pray for her.
Right.
She's a whore. So
Yet we're the only solid, real, loyal, badass motherfuckers in the whole community.
oh
I just look at all these people and it's like, you're so weak. I would not be caught standing near any of those people. Like, you can't stand next to me. I don't even want to look at you. You know what I mean? Like when I see
yeah.
names pop up watching my story, it's like, get the I don't want you here. Why are you looking me up? You know, you can't sit with me, literally, Ashley. And the same
See.
people that degraded me and downed me, it's like, bitch, you can't sit with me.
And they're the first ones that want to watch.
I wouldn't be caught anywhere near any of you motherfuckers. Any of you.
I wouldn't be caught. I'd rather be shot in the street. Dude,
The
that's
beautiful
wild.
part is like the strength to keep going despite everything because they put the pressure on, man. The pressure is put on you
And I
and
kept
it
getting
gets
that
fucking
message
hard.
too,
It
right?
can get hard.
And if it was them, they would have folded a long fucking time ago, though. That's the big picture here. And that's
They,
anybody that's suffering right now. That's what you really need to, because
yeah.
we've all been there where we're like, is this really worth it? You know what I mean? But it's like, no, dude, you don't get it. Somebody would have folded a long, long time ago. And that's why they continue to do this stuff because they know how bad they would just lose it if that was them, you know?
Yeah, even just the false narrative, they would lose it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like their image, they would fucking lose it.
Dude, oh my God. Wait, okay, real quick, I want to share this with you because you brought it up in another video when we were talking about my stepmom, and you're like, hey, I feel like she's like low key, like the like mastermind behind this, and like she's gonna be, which if it hasn't already, absolutely. Like with me going into the crazy hospital, like she pulled a lot of strings from a distance, right?
Hmm.
And shit, dude, I just lost my train of thought.
We were talking about images, narratives.
Okay, so thank you. So literally my stepmom, this is like something that had came out, right? We could say allegedly, this isn't my business to share, but there's a lot of things like, like the history. She was married before my dad. He passed away. He was very wealthy. She had gotten all of his money, right? Allegedly. Yes. Somebody in and it's just weird too, like when you go down the rabbit hole, like my mom's sister was best friends with my stepmom in middle school. So my
Connection.
mom was dating my dad at this current time, right, in high school. So my aunt and my stepmom would go over to my grandma's house to play while my dad and my mom would be hanging out in her room, whatever, right? Just weird fucking connections, dude. And so basically it had gotten out like once my stepmom really did get all of her ex-husband's money, it was somebody, and this is like Meriden for you, somebody in the insurance company told somebody that was friends with my aunt, told my aunt. So like people, it had got around. I knew because somebody in my stepmom's family told me that, but whatever. She found out, this was literally a year or two ago. She found out that somebody from the insurance company snitched that secret. Bro, she got her fired. She found, and I mean, to be fair, like that person wasn't supposed to share that. That's your job. Like you can't share that kind of information. But just to like preface on like the narrative, anything that goes against somebody's image like that, like she got that lady fired. She was literally about to retire. And it's like, you got to think, like, was making that woman lose like, her entire, just like being able to retire.
It's that narcissistic injury, and then they get hell bent on revenge, dude.
Yeah. It's like, you think you're going to spread my business about that? And I think that's where the people that are like that should really look at the people that they're targeting. It's like, well, bitch, but to them, it's like they believe their own lies.
Hold on, Ash. 1 second. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
No.
Sorry. The
But
other
yeah, no,
day, I was live and I kept forgetting like that. My mind just kept going blank, dude.
I'm telling you,
It's
dude,
fucking weird. I'm like, it's weirding me out and I feel high right now. Like, I feel like I'm like on something.
it's I always feel like I look that way because after I get off from being on a live, my eyes get very red.
Do I look weird?
No, you look great.
What the fuck is going on, dude? The energy just like a trip, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just like, what is happening here?
No, dude. Honestly, we shouldn't. I think we do it perfectly. Like I was gonna say, if you wanted to get off, because I don't know what it is, dude. But like that's why I'm telling you. Like with TikTok lives, I haven't really done any, even though I want to soon. But it's something about like I like right now I have the phone on an ice pack, but it's
Dude,
like
I swear to you that they are like doing cyber crimes with TikTok. I do not believe allegedly. I do not believe that it is TikTok that is stopping your views, banning your accounts. It's like a hacker hacking the system.
yeah.
I swear to God.
I mean, it's
I
pretty
feel it,
terrible.
dude.
It's like everything I post, it's gotten better that one video that I randomly posted, but it's normally, dude, like every post gets like 100 views. I'm like, ew.
Mine
But
are really fucking wonky too, dude.
yeah,
Wonky over there. I'm just not even stressing it.
I know. I mean, at this point, dude, it's your 12th profile. So
Fuck. Huh.
no,
Yeah.
but same.
Yeah. They're setting us up for something.
You do. Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm like echoing. Am I echoing on your end?
No, I can't really tell.
Okay. Everything's weird. But yeah, I'll send you that money and you guys can watch the Truman Show.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so I say you don't have to do that.
I want to. I
Um,
want to. For anybody that's watching, Ashley and Alex are they are accepting donations for their fight against human trafficking. Their Cash App information is linked in the description if anybody wants to help them out. They're
or
on a
or
journey,
book
they're
a.
accepting donations, and
I know I was gonna say, or a health and wellness reading. Would love to provide. Would love to
have you
provide
looked
us.
into like getting a deck printed with all of that information that you have? Have you looked into that?
Well, okay, so I haven't looked into it, but that is something that I would really love to do. Like, and I'd
I've
love to
never
obviously
seen one
send one,
before.
right?
I have
So,
hundreds of decks. I have never seen that before. Create it before somebody else does.
right?
I
Dude,
should
I'm
have
gonna
said
do
that to you in private, but nobody has your deck. So, yeah, get it done. Figure it
okay,
out, sell it, sling it. Use it. Use your talents, dude. You're on it.
right?
You're going to blow up. I promise.
Right. Hope so.
It's coming.
Lord. I'm gonna blow up like my bike tire.
Get you a new bike too, dude.
um, what are we thinking for I was gonna say next potential topics next week?
What are you thinking? Do you have any ideas?
I did, and that I every time I say that, it's like it makes the idea exit my head. We could always just
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
see midweek what comes to mind.
All right. If there's anything anybody wants us to talk about, feel free to put it in the comments.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Moonlight Hill Flowers says that they'll buy your deck.
Oh fuck yeah. My phone,
Dude,
sorry, my phone's like
it's
hitting.
crazy. Like Ashley, like the Reckoning Co. Ashley, she writes out spreads, dude. I just thinking about this. Like you have these decks, so but like I'm just getting an idea, but like how could I become a health or I'm struggling with my sacral chakra. How can I get this to balance out? And like pull out of your deck and you've got this ingredient, you need to use this, do this, incorporate this here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's like I'm glad that you said it that way because that's something like I was really excited about. Like just it's not only teaching people about new things that are good like for your body, for your function, but just kind of mixing just the aspect of mixing tarot, like pulling on yourself, seeing what comes out. It's like, oh, I don't know. And then I didn't know if it was just me that genuinely thought it was like pretty cool.
No,
But it
it's
was
genius.
okay, good. I love that. It was Shelby who actually, which I want to ask her if we can start like posting about her book. But she
Did you
actually
get it?
made no, not yet, but I love that you're holding it.
She
I
says she
she
sent
sent
it to you and it got sent back to her.
dude, she said it got sent back the same day. So why would they allow it to get to where we are and then ship it back out?
I don't know. And I got mine, but not the day I was supposed to get it. It was like 3 days late. But I'm
Interesting.
gonna read it and then bring her on here. I want to
Oh,
read this first, and I'm gonna bring her
yeah.
on. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Shelby. What?
Well, she just had made a comment. She was like, "Oh, I haven't seen your deck on Etsy," and I was like, that gave me the idea. I was like, "Oh my god, yes." But I didn't know if I should do like a trial. Like, I guess I'd have to figure out
No,
how
get
to like
in there
print
and
it.
create your deck and sell it,
Yeah.
dude. Get out there. It's gonna work.
Okay.
You're doing confirmation. You're doing readings with it already. It's not up
Yeah.
to it's not it's whoever buys that deck, it's up to them and however they're being led to use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah.
create it, they can figure out how to take their gifts and their shit and use it. And I just saw a big ass orb fly behind you. Or it was the reflection off your water bottle, but it was cool. I
Oh
thought it was an
wow.
orb. But no, do it. You got the time. I don't know how
Okay.
to do any of it though, so I have to do
That's
your
what I'm saying.
research.
I want to like write it all out. Like I'll that's what I'm saying. Like maybe I'll send you a hand written copy because I want to like have a second one and then kind of like write down what's going to be on each card and then kind of do a little more research than to what I have right now. So that way people can have that information,
Yeah.
you
And you
know?
can do a series 1, a series 2, whatever,
Right. Yeah,
done
that's a
is
good.
better than perfect. You'll get better and better and better as you go. But I think
Yeah.
that it's a really good idea.
Okay, fuck yeah.
And again, I've never seen it. And
Right.
that's screaming, we need it.
Okay.
Like I wanted to do I even want to say it on live? Fuck it. Like I wanted to do one like on like gang stalking, bro. I've never seen
Yeah.
it. And I've got all this shit in there. Like it would be kind of like Ashley's like the whispers of the unsolved, but more of like the depths of things like the
I think
direct
that's
energy
totally
weapons and the different programs. Like she has secret government program, but what programs? MK Ultra, Project Bluebeam, Project Stargate, like
right.
really getting into the details to help people kind of solve what the fuck
Yeah.
is going on in their life. But I've never done it. I
I
have it
like
handwritten, but I've never actually proceeded with it. So maybe that's something we could do together or push each other for. Get in there and get our shit done.
yes. I do like that a lot. Because that especially is going to help people figure out things that they aren't even aware. You know what I mean? Like it's helpful to see other people on TikTok, but like picture them pulling a card of what's really happening, something they didn't even think was going to happen. It's like, oh fuck. So yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. Just the truth. The truth is so wild and just mind blowing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I ever thought life was normal when we've never had normal lives. Just like the Truman Show, you got to watch it because it's like his life was never normal. Never. He was
Dude.
being watched from inside the womb when his mother was pregnant.
Interesting.
I mean, watched. And then you get that whole thing where like the devil has to tell you what the devil's going to do before the devil can do it. And they put it in movies.
Right.
That movie is out for a reason.
Yeah.
It's happening to people.
It's almost like they started doing fucked up shit like this to push. Big pharma stuff,
Yeah, it's all about money. And it's so weird. Like I don't know how they select us for the programs they select us for, but
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I think it's something that they've already known. Because I would think back to things I said as a little kid, and it was like very apparent that I was like, you know what I mean? Like reincarnated of some kind, just shit that I would say. And I remember seeing that Passover movie with my dad. And I remember just seeing like the ancient Egypt like background. I remember saying something like, I remember that or something. And my dad was like, what? And he's not gonna, like, tell me what I said, but I just remember, like, he knew. It's just funny when you're a kid, it's otherworldly, right? But then when you
right.
grow up and bitches have an agenda, then you're a fucking skits. No, but
Ain't it crazy how you're away from all of those people and like you're not hearing people or seeing people or being fucking drugged or this or that or recorded or filmed or like life's pretty quiet other than the fucking weirdos that they try and send your way.
right.
Like I'm not fucking seeing or hearing anybody having no fucking sexual nothing nowhere.
Yeah,
I fucking sleep good at night. I'm not hearing people in my house. I'm not none of that shit no more. Schizophrenia doesn't just fucking go away.
right. And that's I actually heard something, I can't remember what I was watching, but I heard it'll come back to me and I'll have to share it with you, but she was talking about projections, like uh I'm sorry, what's the word? Like what basically had happened to you, but it was what's the other word I'm thinking of?
A
Not
hologram?
like a not like a projection, but a hologram.
That's what I
Oh,
used to call it when I was going through it. It's like they're projecting videos into my house, is what I would say. They're
yeah,
projecting it into the house. That's how I would describe it because I didn't know the word hologram back then. And it's like, I
dude.
don't know how they're doing it, but they're projecting 3D videos into my house and it looks real.
And that's okay. So that's crazy that you said that too, because it kind of put something together for me that I didn't know had to. But I remember when I lived in Enfield, and this was like one specific night. It was like one of those things where like this is where you feel like God's already with you, because I wasn't scared. I was kind of like, oh shit, when I opened my eyes, because I was like, basically I was laying in bed, right? And it was like a red beam, like laser type light that was like hitting my face. So I was like,
Mhm.
ah. So I like opened an eye,
Excuse me.
and out the window I can see, dude, somebody in a tree. Like this guy, he had looked like he was in like military clothing, um, with whatever firearm it was, but it was like the gun was pointed at my head. And literally, like the laser was on my, like the light was what woke me up, the red light. And I was like, and I just laid there and I was like, dude, like it already felt like a scare tactic. There was already like not only Masonic, but like Hell's Angels, a lot of different groups of people, like through the trees and whatever that were sent. And when you said that, I'm like, that could have totally just been a hologram.
It was. They did that to me too, and I called the cops. They made it look like my kid's dad was outside of the house with a gun. I called the cops
Okay.
3 times in one night because I was scared he was gonna come in and take me out, and he threatened to kill me on the phone earlier. He said, "You're gonna die, bitch." And then I'm
Yeah.
seeing him outside with a gun that night, and the cops couldn't find him. I called 3 different times just looking crazy, dude.
So it
They
was
wanted
just
you to fucking call the
call the
cop, you
cops.
know what I mean? They wanted to make you look like you were nuts. It's exactly what it was. They
And
did it
that's
to me another time too, across the way at that little duplex caddy corner. It's like I saw my father-in-law and this fucking dope dealer Dustin Batts. I don't know him, never associated, but we had mutuals. Okay, that's all I
mhm.
know. And he handed him a gun and pointed over it at my house. And I remember texting my dad and said, "I might die tonight. I love you. Like, please take care of my kids." Because I thought he was going to come kill me. It was
Wow.
just a hologram, it wasn't real. They fucked with me with that shit 24/7. And then when it got to the point of like, I know it's not real, that's when the girl actually physically came into my bed
Oh, that's right.
because I wasn't feeding into the shit anymore. They snuck her in there thinking she's not gonna know the difference. We have her so fucked in the head, she's not gonna know the difference. Like, might as well really bring her in there. No, fuck you. I knew the difference because the moaning was right next to me. It
Yeah.
wasn't the same loop shit they were playing to me all the time. It was right next to me. I remember laying there like, there's no fucking way this bitch is in my bed right now. And I thought she was in there the night before too, and she probably was. I
Yeah.
was pretty sure she was in there the night before, but it was so dark and I didn't want to fucking make a scene, dude. But yeah, this
Yeah.
fucking grimy bitch crawling right into my bed, fucking my dude right next to me. Right next to me.
What the fuck?
And they have me so fucked up I can't tell what's real and what's not at this point, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, it was probably just a hologram, Ash.
And it's funny because I remember being like, don't give them your reaction. So I just remember like being like, open, you know what I mean? Like little peekaboo. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, is that really what, like, that's what I'm looking at right now? And I'm like, but I didn't want him to see me see him. And I
Right.
genuinely thought, dude, like in that moment, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I literally just laid there and closed my eyes. I'm like, if he gets me, this is it. And
Yeah,
I just couldn't believe it. I woke up the next day and I was like, what the fuck?
that's what it was. I bet you anything.
But yeah,
Anything.
I remember when you were talking about it last time, I'm like, it clicked after we got off the live. I was like, that's totally what that was. And the whole time I thought people were really that, I mean, which they are, like dedicated into making you go crazy to that
I
extent.
thought so too for the longest time that they were really there and shit, dude. Because I was seeing them, I was hearing them. I was like to the point I'm looking for trap doors in my house, thinking they're escaping somehow, dude. I'm like trying to pull up the floorboards. Fucking nobody
Yeah.
was ever there, and they're watching me on cameras, probably streaming it live on the dark web for everybody to watch this fucking horror show of me losing my goddamn fucking mind, dude. Trying to
Wow.
find people that aren't really in the house. I'm like walking around with hammers and golf clubs and frying pans to find this bitch so I can fucking just do it, dude. Like I've
Yeah.
heard her moan for 7 months on repeat, dude. I had no peace. No fucking peace whatsoever. It was wild, dude.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Like what?
And I mean, I was seeing it in the back of my car. I think I told you this, where they were making it look like there were people in ski masks in the back of my car. Like they were going
Yeah.
to jump over and like take me out that way. They just had it everywhere. They fucked with me so bad
It's so
and just
wild.
thought it was so funny. And they're all watching the fucking shit show. I'm screaming at my kids, where are they at? Where are they at? Where's your dad? You know, where is he? And they're like, he's not here. I'm like, you're a fucking liar, you know? My
Yeah.
kids are getting all traumatized. Like,
Oh.
and they're just all watching it like it's fucking funny. But
Yeah.
it's let me do that to you and let's see how you do. You know what I mean? Let me fucking put
Exactly.
that shit outside as somebody with a fucking gun and point at your house. Let me call and tell you I'm gonna kill you and then, you know, show up with a gun later in a fake hologram and see how you react. You're gonna call the cops too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude.
But yeah, it looks real. They look so real. And then it sucks because your phone camera isn't going to capture it very well because it's a floating see-through image.
Well, and they can definitely like mess with the camera to like not get a clear picture.
Yeah, they would shine something at me and it would change my picture completely. Did I send you a picture of that?
I
I
think
might
you
have.
did. Yeah, I think you did. But that
I
is
mean,
crazy
they were
that they
able to
can.
manipulate my pictures. They just like shined shit at me or at what I was taking a picture of all the time. And it was
Yeah.
so frustrating. And then I have a
I
whole other iPhone with a bunch of shit on it, but it's smashed into a million fucking pieces, but I want the shit that's on it. I have so much footage on there, so
oh
much shit. I would love to look through it. and I didn't transfer any of it because it's hacked. It's all that spyware and all that malware's on it, so I didn't transfer anything off of it.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of shit on it. I still have the device. I'm sure I can recover what's on it somehow.
Right?
'Cause yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot of shit.
Damn.
They set me up with that, like, at my friend's house, dude. And, like, blessed be, Sarah told me that she told me, I said, "Are they gonna kill me?" She said, "No, they paid us to fuck with you. Don't feed into it." She told me that.
Wow.
So, but it looks like they're outside with guns and shit at his house, right?
Yeah.
So I'm scared. Like, I don't know that it's not real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm thinking that they're outside. It looks like my kid's dad's family, and they're all dressed up in costumes, looking all fucking stupid, dude. You
Like
know?
a hunting party.
Yeah. And then, like, my other friend, he pulled a gun on me, told me I was crazy, told me to get the fuck out of his house, put his hands on me because I'm scared shitless. And I remember, like, sitting under the kitchen table, just scared, in terror. And there's fucking a YZ house camera on the floor right there. And I picked it up and
Wow.
looked at it, and I'm like, you fucking set me up.
Yeah.
Like, you guys fucking set me up. And Sarah told me not to feed into it. Guess where she's at right now? Prison.
Where?
She's in fucking prison. Guess who just got hemmed up on a bunch of fucking dope charges? The other friend.
Wow.
There, yeah. So it's anyway, but yeah, it really hurt me, dude. It fucking hurt the fuck out of me. That was the
Well,
first
yeah, 'cause
night that
it's
I realized, like, everyone's selling me out, dude.
yeah.
That was a
And that's
straight
when you
setup, and I saw it when it was too late. I saw the cameras when it was too fucking late.
yeah. And it's like how much money is worth, you know what I mean? Like when you really think about what's being done, like really?
I think they told people this is something that I just, like, barely picked up on in a reading, but I think they were telling people that they needed help getting stuff to use against me in court because I was abusing the kids.
Okay.
So it's like, I think that they had people convinced that I was, like, hurting my children or something fucked up like that. And that's why everybody was so gung ho and fucking doing this shit because it was for court, even though none of it would have been admissible. You know
It's
what I
just
mean?
yeah, that's even more like what the fuck for people if they're really gonna trick people and make them think they're for the children. It's like, no, what the fuck are you all doing?
Yeah. And it was the whole town, dude. So at the end of the day, fuck these people that don't understand. There's people out there that do.
Right.
And, like, the people that don't are probably the people that are doing this shit to people, Ash. You're either
Or
on our frequency or you're not.
yeah,
You're either chosen or you're a demon, dude. Like, there's no in the middle.
that's actually
Even
good.
in our lowest days, we're not out doing shit like this to hurt people. Our intentions aren't bad. We're not, even at our lowest, we're not hurting people. I
Or even
remember,
just desiring to, you know?
yeah, no. I went and got a coffee. I was like, I think it was my first day sober after I made the decision I was going to clean up or what the fuck ever. And I was staying in the hotel with the DV shelter. I had $8. And I went through the drive through line and got a coffee, $4. And I tipped the fucking person my last $4.
Yeah.
Making them smile made me feel good.
Yeah.
That was my last money. I have nothing. My whole life was just taken from me. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
still chose to bless and smile and wish that person a good day.
Right.
Those people that do this shit aren't like that. They
Right.
can't smile unless they're making somebody's life fucked up. That's the only way they feel powerful or feel good, and fuck all
Powerful
of
is a
them.
good. And it's yeah, and it's all recycled. You know what I mean? Like when I think about I don't know, just everything that you just said, that was perfect. Like that's why narcissists hurt other people because they feel bad about themselves. And it's like, how do you, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things that we'll never really get, hurting somebody in a covert way behind the scenes and like them not knowing it's you. Like, how is that lifting you up inside?
It's just feeding the demons, dude.
Yeah.
Cause like my throat, dude. But it's like somebody that's narcissistic is evil. There's earth angels and narcissists are fucking earth demons.
Yeah.
Period. And the abuse is how they feed, supply. It's their energy supply. It's how they stay alive.
Yeah. That's why to them, I don't even think, oh, I was going to say it's because deep down they're like in the closet and they hate that they can't be themselves, but I don't even think it's like a preference thing, dude. I think this is totally I don't even know how I just got here, but it made me think of Tiffany Intuitive One. If anybody watching, I love her. But she said that it's with narcs, it's narc supply. It's not about being straight or you know what I mean, gay, bi. It's like the gender doesn't matter because they're literally taking the energy. So it's like a
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be in a relationship either. Like my in laws, they're both narcissistic and they're together. So they fed off of me, dude,
yeah.
for 14 years. I don't know what they did prior to me. I have no fucking idea. I wasn't around, but I've also kind of seen what and how they treat like my kid's dad's brother, and I've seen them be fucked up to him too, dude. So it's like that was probably where they got it before me.
Yeah.
They were pretty fucked up to him. I saw it. And I'm calling it out on fucking YouTube. Get over it.
It is,
And
it's crazy though.
and there was this point in time too. I gotta say this about my brother-in-law. Like, I remember like he was thinking that people were breaking into the house and shit. He was all strung out or whatever. But it almost feels like they were gonna fucking set him up first. Like they were gonna do what they did to me to him. But
Yeah.
then I became available again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, like there was this point in time where he was fucking losing his shit. And I think they were fucking with him, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're probably doing the exact same things to him. Cause that's how it was with my brother-in-law. He would always talk about how his brother's a loser, this and that. His brother's, got trouble with drugs, all this stuff. And I remember I tried to tell my sister, I'm like, you ever notice how he doesn't say like it's just funny to me like how I'm perceived as crazy to everybody, right? He's got a brother and a sister. His sister is like an elementary school teacher and a model. My sister lived with his sister. That's how they met. And I remember my sister telling me that his sister was like batshit crazy, psychopath, whatever. And then I hung out with her one time and I'm like, she seems like she's a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
is it because you're not a model, you're not on TV, you're not, you know what I mean? Like people just see other people doing stuff. But I remember when he said it about his brother, I'm like, there's something up with that, dude. So I think we just literally put pieces together of people that don't even know that they're being targeted, who
Yeah.
are actively being targeted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My brother-in-law was like helping them with like street theater shit with me. And I will never be mad at him, dude. Like
no,
my heart goes out to him. I know he just wants his mom to love him.
yeah,
That's all he wants. You know what I mean? And like I feel so bad. And I will
yeah,
just always have so much love for my brother-in-law from a distance because I see what he doesn't want to see.
right,
But I see it and I just send him so much love from me and the kids from Texas, dude. It sucks. We gotta love you from over here, but
yeah.
nothing but love for him, man. I really feel for him.
And that's the thing, you'll never be able to make people see what they don't want to see. That's like it's no longer your business. If they
No.
can never fathom that or see that, like you said, it's like from a distance.
Well, fuck if they were willing to do it to me. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
nobody to them, really. But I am the mother of those grandchildren, you know?
Right.
So it's like there should be a level of respect and a level of I wish her well no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and they never did from the get. Like I said, they've put me in predicament after predicament and did the worst that they could do to me. And back then I saw it as tough love because I wasn't in the right place and I was making mistakes and I was struggling in addiction, and I always thought they are doing it out of a place of like tough love. But no. They were
Yeah.
doing it out of a place of I hope she never crawls out of this hole we dug for her type of shit.
Yeah.
And it's all so clear now. So, but yeah,
Fucking wild.
it's sad.
It is sad because then it's like, well, what are you? It's like, you know what I mean? Like now it's just like, it's like they never thought that you would know as much as you know right now. So for you, it's just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go fuck myself.
Yeah, and like my brother-in-law's fucking new girlfriend and shit. It's like, good luck. Good luck. You can have the position. I'm out. You know, good luck. And right
I'm out
before
of here.
everything went down, her and my mother-in-law were getting all close, and I was kind of like low-key jealous. Like I was being fucking
Oh,
phased out though, and now I see it.
yeah,
She was just phasing me out, trying to replace me, dude. But
we're
fuck,
setting
it
up
was
the trap
brutal,
for
dude.
somebody else, right?
Yeah, we're free, Ash. Yourself from it. I guess we'll finish it with that. But
Yeah,
said it before, I'm going to say it again. Your anointing is not limited to Maine. It's not limited to Enfield, Connecticut. It's not limited to where you come from. You're
right,
going to be known worldwide. You're going to impact people all over the globe, every fucking where.
dude, back at you. It's about to get exciting.
I'm proud of you, man.
I'm proud of you.
Holler if you need me.
All right.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll just be in touch with our topic. All right.
Absolutely.
All
All
right,
right.
buddy. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.